everybody. This is Jennifer Schaus, and coming to you live today from Washington, D.C., where it's a little bit chilly outside, but we've got some sunshine. Thanks for joining us in our webinar series. We conduct webinars typically on Wednesdays, but December we decided to add a couple more for the sake of just giving you guys more good content. So our webinars are complimentary. They are all recorded. Today's recordings will be posted probably tomorrow, possibly tonight, on our YouTube channel and on our website. Our YouTube channel now has over 300 government contracting webinars on a variety of topics. If you're looking to sharpen your skills on a certain topic, you can navigate to our website, go to the webinar section, and they're all segmented by topic there. Again, they're all absolutely free, and the links will take you to the YouTube channel. We do not take questions at the end, simply to keep these short, sweet, to the point. So if you do have questions, you can contact our speaker by looking at her contact information, which will be on the last slide, and you can contact her directly. A little bit about us. We provide professional services for both product, service, and software companies. Services range here from the items that you see on your screen. GSA schedule is first and foremost our main priority, an area of service, as well as some of the other components that you see here. Our newsletter now reaches over 16,000 subscribers, and that includes both government, federal government. We've got a couple of state and local government subscribers, but primarily government contractors. If you'd like to advertise with us in 2020, we've got some packages available and are running a December cyber sale, so contact us for additional rates and discounts. Today we are fortunate to have Allie Paskin back with us. She's presented in the past. Her company is Able Solutions. She's been in the government contracting arena for many years and very knowledgeable. So with that, Allie, I'm going to turn the floor over to you and just let me know when you're ready for the next slide.
Thank you very much, Jennifer. It's a pleasure to be here today. I appreciate the opportunity to present today. Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to discuss roles and best practices for blue team reviews. Next slide, please. What is a blue team review? The goal of the blue team is basically for your solution architects and your management architects to present their solution to ensure that they are addressing the customer mission, that they are addressing appropriate benefits and features that are compliant with the RFP requirements, that are compliant with the customer needs and hot buttons that you have identified, and that are really focused on what that particular program you're bidding on is looking for. It also gives you an opportunity to review your win strategy to make sure you're positioning your company in the best possible way to win the contract and get the business. And it also gives senior management an opportunity to find out what you're planning to bid to make sure that you aren't putting the company at risk in any way. You're not making any promises that maybe they can't keep, or financially is too big a risk that they feel uncomfortable taking. And it's also making sure that you are providing the lowest risk for your customer, which of course should be your main priority there. You want to make sure that you aren't, for instance, introducing a tool or a software product or a process that may not adhere to their requirements, may not adhere to their IT security requirements. You want to make sure that you are lowest risk for all parties concerned. And it also gives an opportunity to evaluate your price to win to make sure that the technical management approaches and the staffing levels that you are proposing fit within that price to win scenario that you have developed, so you can come in at a fair and reasonable price so the government gets best value and you still walk away with a little bit of money in your pocket. Next slide, please. Who participates in a blue team review? Well, obviously, your capture manager is going to be there. He or she is responsible basically for developing the win strategy, that they would be responsible for presenting the solutions and making sure that everything is in line in the way it should be. Business development should be in the room as well, because they have been targeting this opportunity long before the capture manager and anybody else got involved, and also has some great historical information as far as how the opportunity was identified and has been shaped to date. The solution architect or architects who develop the technical and management solutions should be in the room to explain their thought processes, why they went with the solution they did, what other options they considered, why they chose the best solution that they did, and can answer any questions that anyone in the room has regarding what we're bidding and why that is the case. The proposal manager should be there, because obviously that's the person who will be taking all this information and crafting the proposal document that's going to go to the customer. So you want to make sure your proposal manager also is aware of all that historical information and understands why this is the solution that's being decided, what the lowest risk identifiers are, what the qualifiers were for why one path and not the other, the staffing level, so he or she can then properly craft a proposal that explains all of that information in a not only compliant but compelling way that best positions your company to win. If you have any volume leads on your proposal team, it is a good idea to have them in the room for the exact same reason. They can hear thought processes, they can start formulating win themes and discriminators in their mind that can be applied to their sections based on the information that's being presented on the solution and the strategy involved with how to approach this bid to win. Next slide, please. What is the process for a blue team review? What types of things are being presented? Well, first of all, you want to talk about your customers' issues and challenges. Why are they releasing this RFP? What is this contract? Is it a new contract? Is there an incumbent? Has things changed? Are they possibly combining several contracts under one big umbrella now? Why are they doing what they're doing? What are their hot buttons? As we say many times in the proposal world, what keeps them up at night? What is their headache? What problem are they trying to solve? What challenges are they facing? Have they been given a mandate to upgrade their cybersecurity? Have they been affected by any budget cuts or budget issues in Congress that has impacted their ability to fund the program? They have to scale back. They have to start doing more with less. Who doesn't these days? How is that impacting them? What are their requirements in the RFP? What are their technical requirements? What is it they're looking for the contractor to provide? Products, services, a little bit of both? Is it possibly they want to take something from an as-is to-be environment? They want to move into the future. What is it they're looking to accomplish? What's their business needs? What's their proposed architect solution? Do they have anything in their requirements that they're mandating? The contractor must use this specific equipment or this specific COTS package. Are there anything in there that they are requiring? Then take that information, you develop your technical. You're presenting there your technical solution, your schedule, you have a Gantt chart. How are you going to propose to get this work done over the course of the period of performance? Are there any cost risks and mitigations that are needed to be identified for your solution? Is it maybe a little more expensive than the government is looking for, but you can make a case that it's best value. Is that a trade-off that you're willing to risk and make? Do you need to require any technical teammates? Is there a gap in your ability to meet all the requirements in the RFP? And do you need to bring on some subcontractors or vendors, some teammates to work with you to be able to satisfy all the requirements? And then how are you going to address that in the proposal? How are you going to address all of those concerns in your solution? Do you have an ability to tick off if you have a draft PWS, for example, this is what they're looking for, this is how we're responding. If you don't have a draft RFP yet, just based on your conversations with the customer and what you have gleaned from what they intend to have in the RFP, what is your plan to address their basic problem, their hot buttons, their challenges, and their issues? Next slide, please. On the management side, basically you want to do the same thing. How are your teammates, if you have any, going to be involved? Do they have work share? Are they providing any key personnel? Have you found a teammate that is in such a niche area? They're one of the few in the world who do this particular work. You really want to play that up as a discriminator for your team. How is your teammates impacting your solution? Key personnel, has the government identified any particular key personnel? Are there any additional positions that you feel are critical to the program that you want to suggest would be qualified as key personnel or mission critical personnel that you want to highlight? If you are an incumbent, do you want to highlight, Mary Sue program manager, because the government has been so happy with Mary Sue's performance on the program up to date? Do you want to make sure that you highlight those people are staying with the contract? Do you need to provide an org structure? How is this program going to be organized? Who's going to be reporting to whom? Who's going to be responsible for subcontractor management? Are you going to have any kind of quality board or executive board off to the side that's going to be overseeing the some aspect of the program? How is that going to look? How is that group going to be interfacing and communicating with the government? Are there any risks that you need to mitigate as far as management is concerned? How does the project schedule affect management? Do you need to provide a transition plan? If you take away a contract from an incumbent, how are you going to staff? How are you going to meet? Do you want to accelerate your transition? So instead of 60 days, you can get it done in 45. Is that one of your discriminators? Cost. You have your price to win. Anything in technical management that's been discussed up to date, is that impacting your cost? Is that within the parameters of your price to win strategy, that number that you feel you need to meet? Or do you have to jiggle things around a little bit, maybe go back to your teammates, ask them to lower their rates? Maybe you need to change staffing as far as maybe bring in some more junior people, as far as senior people to keep your labor rates down. How is that all impacting the package overall? Next slide, please. What are the expectations that you want to walk away with after the blue team is over? You want to have a group in there who can evaluate the approach for your technical management solutions. Was the process you went through to identify your options, down select which one you think is the best that you should go with? Is there anything in your technical management solution that a third independent set of eyes can look at and say, wait a minute, this part of your management solution doesn't mirror or match up with your technical solution? Over here in technical, you're saying you're going to have these positions, but they aren't on your org chart. You're saying that you're going to provide this service, but you're not pricing it. You're going to have travel, but you're not pricing it. You don't have that accounted for in your management solution. Is there anything that is out of sync? Anything that technically might not make sense that needs to be brought to the surface and discussed and resolved? In that way, it'll help you to enhance your solution and enhance your strategy. It will help you identify any gaps in your solution. You miss this requirement. If you don't include this, you're going to be non-compliant right off the bat. Those types of things. It will also give the panel an opportunity to recommend other approaches that maybe you didn't think of, personnel in the company or on the team who can help fill gaps that were identified. Anything that is available within the company or within your teammates, whether that be brain power, resources, anything that will help you make sure that your technical and management solutions are spot on, they meet all the customer requirements, are low risk, and within your price parameters. Next slide. So when you're finished, you have walked away with an open discussion of your win strategy, an open discussion of your technical and management solutions. You've identified any gaps that you have had. You've identified any questions that need to be answered. You have key personnel, for example. Do we need to hire a program manager? Do we need to put out a rec and start looking for people to fill those positions? Let's do that now instead of waiting until the last minute. Is there anything like that that you need to be aware of to get started? You can document all of that information, do an after action report, make assign action items, who is going to be responsible for what day are they due, so you can get back together again. This is an iterative process, remember, and go through and look at, have you answered all your questions? Have you addressed all the concerns and the gaps that rose to the surface during your blue team review? And I say this is an iterative process because as you gather more information, whether it's from the customer, whether it's about your competition and what you think their strategy is and the solution they are going to bid, you may have to go back and reevaluate the solution you have come up with and the strategy you decided on and say, are we still best positioned to win? Or do we need to start tweaking what we want to do to offset this new information and adjust accordingly so we still are come out on top? Next slide, please. So here's my contact information. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. And I would like to thank Jennifer once again for this opportunity to present to you today. It's always enjoyable to participate in this webinar series. There's a lot of great information out there that Jennifer provides, and thank you for your attention today. Jennifer, I'll turn it back over to you.
Super. Thank you so much, Allie. Great presentation on Blue Team. The rest of the day we were covering pretty much all the other colors that are out there. I think we did Red Team last week. Again, these are all complimentary and recorded. If you need to reach Allie, she offers proposal writing services, and her contact information is there on the screen. If you've got specific questions about Blue Teams, obviously contact Allie directly. And thanks again for joining us. I think next up might be Gold Team, but we've got about 5 or 6 that are back-to-back today, so hopefully you guys will join us again. Thanks so much, and the recording, like I said, will be available later this evening or tomorrow. Just check back on our website or the YouTube channel. Thanks, Allie, and thanks everybody for joining us.